Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to reflect upon a profound truth. Their love echoed in everything. In the vast expanse of the universe, amidst the ebb and flow of time, love, as the Stoics would remind us, is not a mere reaction to transient emotions, but a powerful, virtuous force that can influence all things forever. We often think of love as an emotion fleeting, intense, and sometimes beyond our control, but the Stoics teach us that true love is not driven by mere passion or external circumstances. It is rooted in wisdom, rationality, and virtue. Love, in its purest form, is a choice that reflects our alignment with nature, with truth, and with the highest good. It is not the sudden rush of an impulse, but the steady, consistent commitment to act in a way that is just, kind, and virtuous. Love, in its deepest and most profound sense, is not simply an emotion or fleeting sentiment. It is a universal force, timeless and far-reaching, that influences every aspect of life. While human beings experience love as a personal connection between individuals, its true nature extends far beyond that. Love is woven into the very fabric of existence, shaping and defining everything around us. From the grandest cosmic events to the quiet moments between two people, love has a profound and lasting impact on the world. When we speak of love as a universal force, we must first understand that it is not constrained by the boundaries of time, place, or circumstance. It does not begin or end with a particular moment, nor is it limited to a specific person or relationship. Instead, love is a force that transcends these temporal and spatial limitations, an energy that moves through and connects all things. This understanding of love echoes the ideas of the Stoic philosophers who believed in the interconnectedness of the universe, where everything is linked in a grand web of existence. Love, as a universal force, flows through that web, influencing every thread and interaction, shaping the course of events and relationships. In the Stoic world, nature operates according to a divine, rational order. Each part of the universe, whether animate or inanimate, plays its role within the grand plan. Love, in this context, is not a mere accident or random occurrence, but a purposeful force embedded in the very structure of the universe. It is through love that we come to understand the unity of all things, recognizing that every action we take, every choice we make, reverberates across the world. Love is what allows us to see ourselves not as isolated beings, but as part of a greater whole, connected to each other and to the world in ways we may not always understand. This deep, interconnected love is what binds us to nature, to the cosmos, and to one another. This universal love manifests in various forms in the relationships we cultivate with family and friends, in our compassion for those in need, in our respect for the natural world, and in our ability to act with integrity and justice. It is not limited to romantic love, although romantic love may be one of its most visible expressions. The Stoics, while acknowledging the power of personal love, would remind us that love should not be viewed as something confined to personal attachment or individual desire. Instead, love is a reflection of our connection to the greater whole, an extension of our understanding of virtue and our role in the universe. In its most expansive sense, love is the driving force behind the harmony of nature. From the cycles of the seasons to the relationships between species, love ensures that the world operates in balance. It is the love between the earth and the sun that creates life. It is the love of one tree for the soil that allows it to grow tall and strong. It is the love that exists between the forces of attraction and repulsion in the cosmos that holds galaxies together and allows for the formation of stars. All of these relationships, whether large or small, are interconnected by love as a fundamental force that nurtures, sustains, and perpetuates life. In human terms, love is what connects us to one another. It is love that allows us to empathize with others, to feel their pain and joy as our own, and to work together toward the common good. It is through love that we find meaning and purpose in life, for love guides our decisions and actions, urging us to act with kindness, compassion, and justice. This universal love also enables us to transcend the limitations of our ego, reminding us that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. In this way, love becomes the force that drives us toward virtue and wisdom, toward becoming the best version of ourselves. In the end, love is not a passive force. It is an active, dynamic energy that shapes the world around us. It is what connects all things, binds them together in a web of unity and harmony, and gives meaning to our existence. Through love, we come to understand the world in its fullest sense, as a place where every action, no matter how small, has an impact, and where every moment is an opportunity to connect with something greater than ourselves. Love, as a universal force, is the essence of life itself, and it echoes through every moment, shaping the world in ways we may never fully comprehend. True love is not built upon the shifting sands of fleeting moments, nor is it shaped by external circumstances that are often beyond our control. It is a love that endures, that remains steadfast in the face of adversity, and that grows deeper with time. The Stoic philosophers, in their wisdom, taught that the path to virtue and happiness lies in cultivating qualities that are stable and unshaken by the chaos of the external world. Similarly, true love is not dependent on superficial conditions or transient emotions, but rather on a foundation of inner strength, virtue, and wisdom. Unlike the love driven by passion or immediate gratification, enduring love is rooted in a sense of purpose and understanding. It is grounded in a deeper appreciation for the well-being of another person, not based on momentary pleasures or desires. Such love does not rely on the whims of fortune, the changes of circumstance, or the unpredictability of human emotions. Instead, it rests on a commitment to the greater good, on the decision to consistently choose what is virtuous, both for oneself and for others. This love is a conscious, deliberate choice, a decision to act with kindness, respect, and compassion, no matter the situation. In many ways, enduring love reflects the Stoic ideal of the inner citadel, the fortress of virtue and wisdom that remains undisturbed by external events. While the world may change, people may come and go, and challenges may arise, the love that is based on wisdom remains constant. It is not swept away by the tides of misfortune or altered by the winds of change. Like the Stoic sage, who strives to maintain serenity and peace of mind regardless of the external circumstances, true love is impervious to the trials and tribulations that life inevitably brings. Enduring love, in this sense, is a reflection of our own ability to grow and evolve. It matures over time, deepens as we learn more about one another, and strengthens through shared experiences. This kind of love is not stagnant or idealized, but rather one that adapts to the realities of life. It requires patience, understanding, and the willingness to grow alongside the other person. As with any virtuous pursuit, enduring love demands effort, not effort in the sense of striving for perfection, but effort in maintaining a consistent and steady commitment to doing what is right for both ourselves and our loved ones. The Stoics also remind us that love is not just about receiving, but also about giving. True love involves selflessness and sacrifice, not expecting anything in return, but seeking the well-being of the other. It is through this selfless giving that love grows stronger, for it is in the act of serving and supporting others that we find deeper meaning and fulfillment. The foundation of enduring love, therefore, lies not in the pursuit of personal happiness, but in the pursuit of the happiness and flourishing of the other. It is through this giving, without expectation of return, that love becomes an enduring force in our lives. Moreover, enduring love is a love that is rooted in wisdom, the wisdom to know that all things are temporary, and that, like everything else in life, relationships too are subject to the passage of time. This wisdom allows us to accept the imperfections and flaws of ourselves and our partners, understanding that we are all on a journey of growth and self-discovery. It is this acceptance, this recognition of the transient nature of life, that enables love to endure. It teaches us that love is not about perfection, but about finding beauty in the imperfections and learning to navigate the ups and downs together. In a world that often prioritizes instant gratification and fleeting moments of pleasure, enduring love reminds us that the most meaningful connections are those that are built on a solid foundation of virtue, respect, and wisdom. It is a love that persists beyond the initial excitement of infatuation, continuing to grow and flourish in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Through such love, we are not only able to experience joy and fulfillment, but also to become better versions of ourselves, wise, patient, and compassionate. It is this enduring love, grounded in virtue, that truly defines the depth and beauty of human connection. The impermanence of the world is one of the most fundamental truths we must come to terms with in life. Everything around us is in a constant state of flux. Seasons change, cities rise and fall, people are born and they die, and even the very mountains we see today will eventually erode over time. This truth, though difficult to grasp, is central to Stoic philosophy, which teaches that we must recognize the transient nature of all things and cultivate an inner peace that is unaffected by the impermanence of the world. Love, too, is subject to this impermanence. Relationships can be altered by time, circumstances, and the inevitable changes that life brings. People grow, evolve, and sometimes drift apart. Yet, while the external circumstances of love may change, relationships may be tested by distance, hardship, or loss, the essence of love can transcend these challenges if it is built on a foundation of virtue and wisdom. Stoics understood that while external factors are beyond our control, our inner responses are within our grasp. The same holds true for love. The external form of love may change, but its true nature remains constant if it is nurtured by patience, understanding, and moral character. This recognition of impermanence encourages us to appreciate love in its present form, to cherish the moments we have, knowing that they are fleeting. We are reminded that the time we have with our loved ones is finite and that life itself is fragile. In the face of this impermanence, we must learn to value love for what it is in the moment, without clinging to it or trying to preserve it in a static form. We must embrace love not as something that can be captured or held on to forever, but as something that exists fully in the here and now, something that is experienced in its own time, fully and without reservation. The Stoic understanding of impermanence also teaches us that attachment to any particular moment or relationship can lead to suffering. When we become too attached to the idea of love in a specific form, we set ourselves up for disappointment and pain when that form inevitably changes. But when we understand love as a dynamic, evolving force that will change as we change, we free ourselves from the weight of unrealistic expectations. Love becomes something we experience and nurture in the moment, knowing that its shape may evolve, but its essence remains. Furthermore, this impermanence is a reminder that the external conditions of our lives are not what define us. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes not from external circumstances, but from internal virtue, from cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. In love, too, the Stoic approach teaches us that our love should not be based on the changing circumstances or fleeting emotions, but on a deeper, more enduring sense of connection, care, and respect. This understanding allows us to love fully and freely without being overly dependent on the external forms that love may take. We can appreciate love in its many expressions: the joy of companionship, the tenderness of friendship, the bond between family members, while remaining grounded in the knowledge that these expressions are temporary. In embracing the impermanence of the world, we also come to appreciate the beauty of life as it is. The changing nature of love and relationships makes them precious. The fleeting moments of connection, the shared laughter, the quiet comfort of companionship, these are the things that make life meaningful. If love were permanent and unchanging, we might lose the ability to appreciate its depth, its complexity, and its capacity to grow. It is the very impermanence of love that makes it so profound and valuable. It teaches us to live in the present, to savor each moment as it comes, and to express our love fully while we can. Ultimately, the awareness of impermanence allows us to approach love with wisdom and grace. We no longer hold on to love out of fear of loss or change, but instead, we embrace it with the understanding that all things in life are temporary, and this makes the love we share all the more precious. By accepting impermanence, we learn to love more freely, more deeply, and with a greater sense of peace. We let go of the illusion of control and allow love to be as it is, knowing that its true value lies not in its permanence, but in the way it transforms us and shapes our lives in the moment. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of self-control is not merely about resisting immediate pleasures or desires, but about acting in accordance with our rational nature, which aligns with virtue and the greater good. Love, too, when understood through the lens of Stoicism, is not driven by unrestrained passion or unchecked emotion, but is instead an expression of self-control, rationality, and moral purpose. To love in a Stoic sense is to choose love deliberately, based on wisdom, respect, and a commitment to the flourishing of both oneself and others. This type of love requires emotional discipline, not in suppressing feelings, but in ensuring that love is expressed in a manner that is virtuous and conducive to personal and mutual growth. True love, when guided by Stoic principles, does not lead to impulsive actions or decisions based purely on momentary attraction. Instead, it involves carefully considering the best interests of both parties involved, understanding the nature of the relationship, and acting with integrity and purpose. Passionate love, while beautiful in its intensity, can often cloud judgment and lead us to act in ways that are not in alignment with our long-term goals or the well-being of others. In contrast, love grounded in self-control and rational thought allows us to make decisions that are not only loving but also just, fair, and aligned with our ethical values. This does not mean that love in Stoicism lacks depth or emotional intensity. On the contrary, love in its truest form can be deeply passionate and fulfilling. However, the Stoic approach suggests that this passion should be tempered by wisdom. It is not about denying emotion, but about integrating it with reason. The Stoic love is one where emotions are recognized, but they do not dominate one's actions. It is the kind of love that prioritizes long-term happiness and well-being over fleeting satisfaction or selfish impulses. This love does not indulge in irrational whims or desire for control, but seeks to act in a way that nurtures mutual respect and personal growth. Self-control in love also involves accepting the limitations and imperfections of both ourselves and our partners. In relationships, as in life, challenges will arise and people will inevitably make mistakes. A Stoic approach to love recognizes that human beings are fallible, and it requires patience and understanding when mistakes occur. Rather than being driven by anger, resentment, or disappointment, love that is guided by self-control approaches these challenges with equanimity, seeking resolution through rational discussion and mutual respect. This ability to handle adversity with composure and wisdom strengthens the bond between individuals, allowing them to navigate the difficulties of life without losing sight of their commitment to one another. Moreover, self-control in love also means recognizing when it is time to let go. The Stoics teach us that attachment to external things, whether people, possessions, or outcomes, can lead to suffering when those things inevitably change or are lost. Love guided by self-control is not an attachment to a particular outcome or an obsessive clinging to a relationship, but rather a love that allows for freedom, growth, and the acceptance of change. When we love with wisdom, we understand that while relationships may change, the love we give and receive is not diminished by impermanence. Instead, it becomes a force that helps us grow individually and collectively. In this sense, love guided by self-control is empowering. It allows individuals to act with greater clarity and purpose, free from the constraints of unchecked emotion or selfish desires. It also allows for a deeper and more enduring form of love, one that is not contingent upon the vagaries of mood, situation, or external validation. This love is rooted in respect for oneself and for the other person, acknowledging that true love is not about fulfilling individual desires, but about fostering a relationship that nurtures both individuals' growth and well-being. Self-control in love also promotes a sense of inner peace and tranquility. When love is not driven by the turbulence of uncontrolled emotions, it becomes a source of stability and strength. It is a love that is grounded in virtue and is not easily shaken by external events or internal turmoil. This stable, calm love allows both individuals to support one another with resilience, providing a safe and steady foundation in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Thus, love, when practiced with Stoic self-control, becomes an active choice rather than a passive reaction. It is a love that seeks not to dominate or manipulate, but to uplift, to nurture, and to guide both individuals toward their highest potential. It is a love that remains steadfast, rooted in wisdom and virtue, and not swayed by the passing tides of fleeting emotion. It is, above all, a love that cultivates peace, harmony, and personal growth, allowing us to navigate the complexities of life with grace and dignity. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of interconnectedness is central to understanding the way the universe operates. The Stoics believed that everything in existence is part of a greater whole, a vast, interconnected web of life and matter where every action, every choice, and every thought has an effect. This idea of interconnection, while encompassing the physical world, extends into our relationships with others as well. Love, as a universal force, reflects this interconnectedness. Just as the Stoics viewed the universe as a system where all things are linked by a rational order, Love can be seen as the invisible thread that connects people, shaping and guiding their interactions with one another. To understand love through the lens of interconnectedness is to recognize that our actions, no matter how small, reverberate beyond ourselves, touching the lives of others in ways we may not always see. This truth is particularly evident in the way love operates within families, communities, and societies. Each act of kindness, each gesture of support, each moment of genuine affection and care creates ripples that extend outward, influencing the broader web of human interaction. Love, in this sense, becomes a force for unity and harmony, a force that strengthens the bonds between individuals and nurtures the connections that make us human. Love's interconnected nature also teaches us that we are not isolated beings, but part of something far larger than ourselves. Just as the Stoics believed that the universe operates according to a rational, interconnected order, so too does love reflect the idea that we are all part of a greater whole. The relationships we form and the love we share with others are not just personal experiences, but are expressions of our connection to the larger human family. This interconnectedness reminds us that our well-being is tied to the well-being of others, and that our actions, especially those motivated by love, have consequences that reach far beyond our immediate circle. In relationships, love can be the force that nurtures cooperation, understanding, and mutual growth. It is through love that we learn to empathize with others, to see the world through their eyes, and to act in ways that contribute to the common good. Love creates a sense of shared purpose, encouraging individuals to look beyond their own desires and to work toward the collective well-being of the community. This sense of interconnectedness is essential to creating harmonious, supportive environments where individuals can thrive. Furthermore, love as interconnectedness extends beyond human relationships. It encompasses our relationship with the natural world and the environment. The Stoics taught that everything in nature is interconnected and that humans are part of a larger natural order. Love, in this broader sense, means recognizing our responsibility to care for the earth and all the living beings that share it with us. The interconnectedness of life means that the health of the planet affects our own health, and that the actions we take, whether they are acts of kindness toward others or acts of stewardship toward nature, create an impact that resonates throughout the world. The interconnectedness of love also underscores the idea that love is not a limited resource, but a force that grows stronger the more it is shared. Just as the universe operates on principles of cause and effect, love thrives when it is given freely and generously. When we extend love to others, it is not diminished but multiplied. Each act of love, each act of kindness, creates a cycle of goodwill that spreads outward, encouraging others to act in kind. This cycle of giving and receiving love strengthens the bonds between individuals, creating a ripple effect that can transform entire communities. In this way, love is not merely something we feel, but something we do. It is an active force, constantly at work in the world, shaping and connecting the lives of those around us. Just as the Stoics believed that virtue and wisdom are not just theoretical concepts but lived realities, so too is love something that must be embodied in action. It is through our actions, our choices, and our behavior that we contribute to the interconnectedness of the world. Love becomes the force that unites us, the thread that weaves our lives together in meaningful and lasting ways. Ultimately, love, when viewed through the lens of interconnectedness, teaches us that we are never truly separate from one another. Our lives are entwined in a shared existence, and the love we offer to others is both a reflection of our connection to them and a force that strengthens the bonds that unite us all. It reminds us that we are part of a larger, intricate web of relationships, and that by loving others, we contribute to the harmony of the world around us. The interconnectedness of love is not just a beautiful concept, but a powerful truth that shapes the way we relate to one another and to the world we inhabit. In the Stoic world view, the highest pursuit in life is the cultivation of virtue qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, which enable us to live in harmony with nature and fulfill our true potential as human beings. Love, as an essential human experience, is intricately tied to this pursuit of virtue. It is not simply a fleeting emotion or a passing attraction, but a force that, when aligned with virtue, has the power to transform not only individuals, but also the world around them. Love, when infused with virtue, transcends selfish desires and becomes a powerful means of contributing to the greater good, allowing us to lead lives of integrity and meaning. The Stoics believed that our emotions and actions should be governed by reason, and love is no exception. Love that is rooted in virtue is not impulsive or driven by superficial feelings, but is deliberate and thoughtful. It is grounded in a deep respect for others, a recognition of their inherent worth, and a commitment to their well-being. This type of love does not seek to possess or control the other person, but instead seeks to nurture their growth, encourage their happiness, and support their journey toward becoming the best version of themselves. It is a love that encourages mutual respect and understanding, where both individuals are free to be their authentic selves while also striving to elevate each other. The role of virtue in love can also be seen in the way we respond to challenges and difficulties in relationships. Life is full of ups and downs, and relationships, no matter how strong, will inevitably face moments of tension, disagreement, or hardship. Love, when coupled with virtue, helps us navigate these challenges with patience, resilience, and compassion. Rather than reacting with anger, frustration, or resentment, love grounded in virtue encourages us to respond thoughtfully, with an eye toward finding solutions, fostering understanding, and maintaining harmony. It is through this virtuous love that we learn to be forgiving, to accept each other's imperfections, and to approach difficult situations with a calm and clear mind. Moreover, love that is aligned with virtue also has the power to inspire and transform those around us. When we love with wisdom and integrity, we become role models for others, demonstrating the qualities of compassion, selflessness, and fairness. This virtuous love has a ripple effect, inspiring others to act with kindness and respect, creating a cycle of positive behavior that spreads through communities and societies. Love rooted in virtue becomes a source of strength and guidance, helping others to grow and develop in their own lives. It creates an environment where people feel supported and valued, and where mutual respect and understanding are at the forefront of all interactions. In a world that often prioritizes instant gratification, superficial desires, and self-interest, love grounded in virtue stands as a powerful reminder that true fulfillment comes from actions that are aligned with what is good and just. It is through virtuous love that we find lasting happiness and fulfillment, not because we are seeking personal gain, but because we are committed to the flourishing of others and to the well-being of the greater whole. This type of love is not dependent on external circumstances or the behavior of others. It is a love that is constant, steadfast, and rooted in the pursuit of moral excellence. Furthermore, love that is aligned with virtue is not only focused on personal relationships, but extends to our broader responsibilities to society and the world at large. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus emphasized the importance of living in accordance with nature and contributing to the common good. In the context of love, this means that our capacity for love should not be confined to those closest to us, but should extend to all people, regardless of their background, status, or circumstances. Virtuous love calls us to be just and compassionate toward others, to act in ways that promote peace, fairness, and equality, and to use our love as a force for social good. By nurturing love through the cultivation of virtue, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to the greater harmony of the world. Love, in its truest form, is not about seeking personal gain or fulfillment, but about creating a better, more just, and more compassionate world for all. It is through virtuous love that we find the strength to live with purpose and integrity, to overcome challenges with grace and dignity, and to connect with others in a meaningful and lasting way. It is a love that transcends self-interest and is rooted in a deep commitment to the well-being of others, the pursuit of justice, and the realization of a common good. In conclusion, love, when viewed through the lens of Stoic philosophy, becomes far more than a fleeting emotion or momentary desire. It transforms into a force that is enduring, grounded in virtue, and deeply interconnected with the fabric of life itself. From embracing the impermanence of all things to practicing self-control, from recognizing the interconnectedness of all relationships to aligning love with the pursuit of virtue, the Stoic perspective offers a profound understanding of what love can truly be. Love, in this context, becomes a conscious, deliberate choice to act in alignment with wisdom, compassion, and justice. It is a love that endures beyond the superficial, one that grows and deepens with time through the cultivation of patience, understanding, and respect. It teaches us that love is not about possession or control, but about fostering growth, both in ourselves and in those we care for. By viewing love through the Stoic lens, we are reminded that our relationships are not isolated experiences, but part of a larger, interconnected whole, where our actions and emotions reverberate far beyond the individual. Ultimately, love guided by Stoic principles is not a love that seeks personal satisfaction or fleeting pleasure, but a love that aspires to something higher, a love that nurtures the flourishing of both ourselves and others, fostering a sense of purpose, peace, and unity. It is through this kind of love that we are able to build meaningful, lasting connections with others, creating a life that is rich in virtue, filled with mutual respect, and aligned with the greater good. By embracing love in its truest form, we can not only experience deep fulfillment, but also contribute to a more harmonious, compassionate world.